Hi, I'm Vinny from Hacks for Data Analysis, and this is the Hack of the Week. In this Hack of the Week, I'll show you how to create a very interactive dashboard. So you transform something as boring as this table with only date, country, and amount into this, where you have charts and interactive buttons where you can just click around and modify your data to help you better understand it. Alright, so let's start. But first, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the like button for this video. Also download for free this Excel file from the description of this video. The first thing that we'll do is in this table, we need to add a new column that will help us using as a filter for the months, because the date format provided here is defined on a daily basis. So we just want to see the month and the year. And for that, I'll first start by creating the column. So I'll name it filter month. And now the formula I'm going to use is equals text. So out of the date that we already have, I'll create a text field. So I'll just click on the date, press comma, and the format, I'll open quotes, uppercase, triple M for month, dash the letter Y 4 times for the year. I'll quotes again, close parenthesis, hit enter. Now you have the same date, but in text format and only with the month and the year. Now to create our first visual, let's just select the entire table. So I'll just click anywhere inside the table. I'll press and hold Control, then I'll press A, and that will select the entire table. Now with the entire table selected, let's click on Insert, Pivot Chart, Pivot Chart. I already have a worksheet created for this, so I'll switch to existing worksheet, and I'll select where I want to create the pivot chart. So I'll click on this icon. I'll go to the other worksheet, and I'll just click anywhere around here and hit enter. Then OK. Now you'll notice that every time you create a pivot chart, you have a pivot table plus a chart. So let's click on the chart. And for the first visual, I'll use country of sale as axis and sales amount as values. Now, usually I don't have much time to make my charts look fancy. So what I do is I just click on the visual. I'll go here on the top and click on design, quick layout, and I'll just select any that I'm happy with. This one looks good. And the numbers look a bit odd. So what I'll do is I'll just format the sum of sales amount, value field settings, number format, and I'll change it to currency. I don't want decimal places, so I'll put 0. And I'll change the symbol to euro because it's in euro. And now I'll hit OK. OK again. I'll just name this chart sales per country. And the axis title, I'll just name it to total amount. I don't like this gray button, so what I do is I right click on them and I'll click on hide all field buttons on chart. Now the next visual, which is the line chart. So again, let's go back to the table. And again, with the table selected, so I'll select the entire table. Again, I'll create a new pivot chart. So I'll click on Insert, Pivot Chart, Pivot Chart. And again, existing worksheet. I'll select the location, switch back to the dashboard. I'll click here to the right. I do this to make sure the pivot table is in one side of the screen and the chart is in the other one. Because in the end, I'm just interested in the charts. So later I can just hide those. Now I'll select the cell. I'll hit enter. I'll press OK. And again, we have a new pivot table and a new chart. So what I'll do is I'll just move this chart underneath the other one. And this is the line chart where you have some sort of a timeline. So we need the dates. I'll drag and drop the date field to the axis of this chart and the sales amount to the values. Now, by default, Excel did not suggest a line chart. I'll just resize this a little bit. So I need to change this visual to a line chart. So I'll right click on it and I'll click on change chart type. You see, Excel selected columns. We want to change it to line. The first one is okay, so just press OK. But notice this looks a bit weird, and that's because our dates are on a daily basis. So it's very hard to read this chart. And to improve this, what we can do is in the pivot table from this same chart that we just created, just click on any cell that has the dates and go to Analyze, Group Selection, and now you can group the dates by month and year. So just make sure you have month selected, then you can press and hold Control, click on years, click OK. And notice that the chart looks a lot better now because you only see the months and you have the split per year. It really works like a timeline to analyze on a monthly basis. And again, just to make it look a bit better, I'll first hide this button. So I'll right click on any of them. I'll click and hide all field buttons on chart. And since I'm lazy, again, I'll use the quick layout. So I'll just go to the design, quick layout. Well, I'm happy with this one, so I'll just select this. And again, I'll format the sales amount. So I'll click here, value field settings, number format, currency. I'll change the currency to euros. I'll remove decimal places and I'll hit OK. I'll hit OK again. And I'll change the axis title. This one to total amount and this one to month. Now the last thing is to include those magic buttons, right, for the dynamic dashboard. And to do it, you can select any of these pivot tables. So I'll select the last one that we created. I'll go to Analyze and I'll insert Slicer. That's the secret of the dynamic dashboard. So I'll just click on Insert Slicer. And here you can select which fields you would like to use as a slicer, as a filter. So in here, what I want to use is the country of sale and the filter that we created in the beginning of this video, filter month. I'll press OK. And here you have the slicers. Now just place it anywhere in the dashboard. Here looks okay. But you'll notice that as I click on the buttons, only the second visual is changing, right? Our first visual does not respond. That's because we created the slicers from the second pivot table, not on the first one. And to make sure that all the visuals respond to the slicers, what you need to do is you have to select each of these slicers. So I'll select country of sale. And on the top of the screen, there's slicer options. You can click on options. Then go to report connections. And make sure you tick all the pivot tables that you want to respond to this slicer. So this one only works for pivot table 4. Now I want to select pivot table 3. I'll hit OK. And now you can see that the first visual already changed based on the country sale. Now we need to do the same thing for the second slicer. So click on it. And again, report connections. Enable pivot table 3. Press OK. And there you go. Now you have dynamic visuals that work with Now you have dynamic visuals that work with the slicers. Just to make it look a little bit better, we don't need the pivot tables anymore. So we can just hide them by selecting the columns, right click, and hide. Now let's just place our filters here. And you're done. So that was the hack of this week. I hope you like it. This is a very interesting tool from Excel. It can help you a lot analyzing data. So I hope you liked it. See you next week. Bye.